Chelsea Football Club made a last-minute late inquiry for Nunes. Yes, Liverpool's Nunes, and it was instantly rejected. We've got news stories coming out about that. We've got lists of strikers that Chelsea are looking at, and this is a short list of around 8 names, so it's not very short. Then, more importantly, we look at how Chelsea, well, Petrovic, even before he was at the MLS, he was in Serbia, so we're going to give props for that. And finally, Klopp has come out with the biggest load of nonsense. Right? This is the biggest load of I'm going to change the narrative because the cup final, we're not favourites apparently. That's what he said from a Liverpool perspective. I'm going to talk about that. Bowley's coming to town. The Sassy comes out talking smoke. I love it. Let's get into it. Let's break this down into little details so you guys get your Chelsea fix. Hit the like button. We're aiming for 750 likes. Make sure you do it. Number 2, subscribe. And number 3, in the comment below, put the number like that you were. It's a great way of triggering the algorithm. Let's keep it steady. So, I don't think it's a secret that all last summer, Chelsea were offered Dusan Vlahovic. And Chelsea didn't get Dusan Vlahovic because Pochettino didn't want him and didn't think he was up to par and would have preferred to go with Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson. However, after Dusan Vlahovic deal broke down, it looked like Chelsea went in last minute in for Darwin Nunez, the Uruguayan international. Beautiful movement, right? The guy's got absolutely amazing. He's got one tier below Cavani at movement, and Cavani is the GOAT of movement. Like, the way Nunes moves generates the chances that he has. He's so intelligent in finding space in the penalty box. Finishing, not so much. However, the movement, phenomenal. This news was initially broken by Alex Goldberg. Alex Goldberg on Twitter, the podcaster, came out with the news. No one believed him. Everyone was like chatting nonsense. And everyone really threw it away. However, he's been proven right because the Times are now coming out with Paul Joyce with stories that it is true. Chelsea made a last minute inquiry. Liverpool said, no, sorry, not for sale, not for you. And this is very interesting for me, purely based on the fact that how would Darwin Nunez fit into Chelsea's team, and will Chelsea go back in for him this summer? Because I think Nunes is a very good striker. The chaos factor in him is phenomenal. Like, the weekend finish, let me know one thing. This guy is not short of confidence. The chip was nasty. There was no need to chip it that way. Open your body up and curl it around him. Nope, I'm going for the dink. So we know what kind of player he is. We know Chelsea are going to go after a striker. We know Paul Winstanley really likes Darwin Nunez. So now it's time to talk about the strikers that we're going to go after. So for me, I broke this down into 3 categories. Yeah, too young for us. I don't know enough about him. This is a world-class player. Number 1 for the too young for us. Ferguson from Brighton. He's on the list. And for me, Ferguson from Brighton at this moment in time is just a no-go. He's going to cost an ample amount of money. He's going to cost around £100 million. And I don't think he's worth the money. Purely based on the fact that he's 19, 20 years old. He's not having a good season again in comparisons to last year. He's injury prone. We just don't need to take the risk. The guy doesn't even start ahead of João Pedro and Welbeck. Do we really need to take the risk and destroy the kid's future? No. Then there's Benjamin Sesko. I think he's too young as well. I don't think Sesko is the type of player Chelsea should be going after. Very good frame, good link-up play. Not a natural finisher. We're just going to be down the avenue of we need a proper goal scorer within 18 months. I think he's a very good player. I think he's got tremendous skill about him. But I think if I'm Sesko's representative, I'm telling him, broski, I need you to stay where you are. I don't need you moving anytime soon. He needs another 18 months at Leipzig. Not next summer, the summer after that, then you move on. Because he needs to develop. He needs to score 5 goals, then go on a barren spell of 8 games not scoring. And no one cares at Leipzig because they consistently win and finish top 4. So that is the end of the story. Not Chelsea caliber at this moment. Then there's someone called, I think, Zikari. I don't know much about him. That's the segment he goes under. I saw a compilation the other day. I got told about him by a friend on Twitter. And ever since then, I just keep seeing his compilations everywhere. Like, I think he's the new kid on the block, right? He's just popping off somewhere and everyone's getting excited. It's like that striker that's about to blow up and everyone knows about him now because the hype's getting bigger. I don't know about him to judge him whether we should get him or not. So I'm going to keep my opinion to myself. Then there are 2 strikers that have exploded onto the list and are players that are playing very well, and I'm hesitant about paying the big money. Number 1, Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon, and this player is on the list, and this list is coming from David Ornstein, and this player is putting up numbers like he's in the NBA and he's Joel Embiid. in the sense that it don't matter, man. It's a triple-double every night. Every night, goal and assist. Every night, key pass. Every night, shining. And I know this is the Liga NOS, the Portuguese league, but the reality is Ruben Amorim has got him balling. It is long shots, tap-ins, creating, carrying the ball, headers, volleys, chests, wherever you want, this guy's doing it, man. I'm telling you now, if you want him to cook you a 5-star cuisine, he will most probably do that too at this moment in time. That's the season he's having. My reservations with him are simple. He's 25 years old. This is his breakout season. What the hell was going on the other 9 years? Paul Winstanley likes him. Paul Winstanley knows about him because he signed him at Brighton. So it's just one of those things where, big man, your numbers weren't good in League One. They weren't good in Championship. They were decent last year in the Championship. But now you've exploded to the scene. I'm not going to hold that against him too much purely based on the fact that Didier Drogba was that. But at the same time, Didier destroyed the UEFA Cup with Marseille, and it was almost a given that he was going to shine. And even when he came, it took him time to adapt to Chelsea. So I don't know about Gyökeres, and I want to see how he develops. Like, for me now, from now till the end of the season is where the money is. Win Sporting the League, win Sporting the Cup, win Sporting the Europa, and then we got a player on our hands where we could talk about, yeah, go pay the 100 million euros. Then there's Boniface. Boniface, I think, came from the Belgian league, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Belgian or Norwegian league. And at Bayer Leverkusen, he has been balling. Like, Boniface is one of those strikers where you look at him, he's not a natural finisher. You'll miss chances, he'll frustrate you, but he's got everything else. He's got tech, he's got strength, he's got passing attributes. He's just very influential in the final third. Loves a few touches, loves to take on a player and just flick it and play another player in. Very entertaining to watch, especially for us hipsters. We're gonna love him. We're gonna be like, hey, take my money, man. Turn on that TV, Boniface is playing. So he's an interesting one, but I don't know, purely based on the fact that, like I said, it's his first year in the Bundesliga, and the Bundesliga has a habit of making certain players look better than they are. All right? There's strikers bang goals in that league. Let's not beat around the bush, right? Nkunku bang goals in that league. Guirassy bangs goals in that league. Lewandowski's banging goals. Michy Batshuayi bang goals in that league. Like, the strikers of all levels bang goals in that league. Colin Wani bangs goals in that league. Now he's gone to Ligue 1. He's struggling. Absolutely struggling. So for me, it's we need to be very selective with our next striker. Is Boniface worth the risk? I don't know. Then, of course, Victor Osimhen. He's the #1 target. I think this list has been compiled just as if we don't get Osimhen, are we going to go get anyone else? You know my views on Osimhen. You know I think he's a baller. You know I think he's special. You know I am convinced that this guy's physicality, his eagerness, his ability to just shoot on sight, his ability to drive, the hunger, this man is a Chelsea level player. It's just, is he worth the money of 120 million? And that is the difficult questions I'm happy I don't need to answer. But that's just me. Next door. Speaking about our scouting team, I think it's very important to give praise where praise is due. Because Petrovic is a player that we got for very cheap. And Petrovic is a player that apparently has been on Winstanley's eye list that from his Serbia days. When he played in the Serbian league. Not only did he when he played in the MLS, but when he was in Serbia and before he made that move, Winstanley wanted to sign him already. So this just tells me one thing. These lot have been scouting players for a hot minute, man. Like, they brought that book that they had at Brighton of player names and that, like, that Dictionary Will Smith had in what's it called, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, for those of you that watch it. You know, it's like, and then he passed it on to Carlton. Like, he clearly brought it across with him. He didn't give it to anyone else at Brighton. And for me, it's just so important that we keep getting these gems, because £12 million got us Petrovic. That is a #2 goalkeeper. Some would even argue a #1 goalkeeper. I'm not convinced just yet about #1, but this could have saved us millions. If Petrovic develops the way I want him to develop, we're going to have a bad boy goalkeeper. I know the kicking's frustrating, but I can't lie to you. You can work on that slightly. You can't work on the fundamentals of being a good goalkeeper, and I think that's exactly what he is, and I love to see. The big boy final is tomorrow, and we're going to give you the preview that you lot all desire, right? Because we made it to the final, we are all happy about it, but Jurgen Klopp's coming out with a bahuga sugar, like absolute nonsense, absolute rubbish, govno, rubbish, like absolute poo. That's what he's coming out with, govno, like it's the easiest way to say it. He's coming out with, we're not the favourites, Chelsea are. Look how much they've improved. What are you talking about? You're third in the league, yeah? Or second or first, wherever you are. You're competing for the league title. We're 10th. On what planet are you not favourites? Like, this whole chip on his shoulder, yeah, really irritates me. Like, oh no, we haven't got Mo Salah and Darwin Nunez, and we don't have Jota. So, oh my God, we aren't the favourites. Listen, 2 of those 3 will play. I promise you now, Nunes and Salah will find a way to be fit. They will find a way. Alisson will resurrect somehow his hamstring that's meant to keep him out till April. He'll find a way to play. Trent will somehow play, and they're going to have a strong team out there. So I don't want to hear this nonsense from Liverpool. I don't want to hear this nonsense from Liverpool fans about how this is unfair. We've had injuries all year. So hold that. Disasi's coming out with beautiful comments. We have to do everything we can to win. It's a must-win game. It's the final. There's no excuse. That is the mentality I want from you, man. I need you lot focused. No smiles, no hugs, nothing. Screw face before the game, before the final. Because this is how I'm going to be sitting here watching my TV. Screw face, concentrating, nerves, focused. Every single one of you. Bowley's even flying in. So we all know what's going to happen. This final is important to every one of us. It's important to me. It's important to you lot. It's important to the players. And most importantly, it's just important to Chelsea. We need to win another trophy. We didn't get one last year. It's time we get back to winning ways. This was the Kavkas View. I hope you, man, enjoyed it. I hope you lot hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And I hope this is the home of your Chelsea content news. Like, I hope when you lot think there's been news on Chelsea, I need to go see a reaction, I'm the first channel that comes to your mind. That's why I hope it is. But hit the like button, subscribe. Peace out, I'm out.